It wasn't Italian and it wasn't exotic. It was a four-door family sedan from Broadmeadows, Victoria. And yet, in 1971, this humble Ford Falcon GT-HO Phase III was called the fastest four-door production sedan in the world. It conquered Mount Panorama with such dominance that rival drivers could only watch in disbelief. It terrified politicians who branded it a bullet on wheels and moved to ban it. And it created one of the greatest controversies in Australian motoring history, the Supercar Scare. But here's the shocking truth. The Phase III wasn't just a muscle car. It was the car that redefined Bathurst, shook Australia's government to its core, and became so legendary that collectors today pay over $1 million for the privilege of owning one. This is the untold story of the Falcon GT-HO Phase III, the car that was too good for its own good. The stage is set in 1971. Australia is at the height of the muscle car era. Every October, one race defines the nation. The hardy Ferodo 500 at Bathurst's Mount Panorama. It's not just about winning a trophy, it's about selling cars. Success at Bathurst translates directly into showroom sales. Ford, Holden, and Chrysler know this all too well. They're locked in a three-way war, each desperate to build the fastest sedan that can survive 500 miles on the mountain. Globally, the muscle car dream is fading. In the United States, new emissions rules and insurance premiums are strangling horsepower. Big block monsters are disappearing. But Australia is different. Here, the war is only escalating. Ford Australia, under the leadership of Bill Bourke, is determined to seize control of Bathurst. Bourke believes in Ford's global motto, total performance. He doesn't want second place. He wants to humiliate the competition and make Ford the king of the road. The world outside may be pulling back on speed, but in Australia, the fuse has just been lit. Ford's quest for Bathurst glory. For Ford, Bathurst isn't just another race. It's the battlefield. They already have the Falcon GT, but it isn't enough. Holden is sharpening its Monaros. Chrysler is preparing its Wild Charger RTE 49 with a screaming straight six. Ford needs something that will crush them all. Enter the GTHO program, Grand Touring Handling Option. But in reality, it's shorthand for Ford's secret Bathurst weapons. Engineer Al Turner leads the charge. He takes the 351 cubic inch Cleveland V8 and tunes it relentlessly. A Holley carb, a high flow intake, a close ratio 4-speed top-loader gearbox and a Detroit locker diff, race-grade suspension, and a massive 36-gallon fuel tank so the car can go the distance. And then there's Allan Moffat, Ford's star driver. Canadian-born, ruthlessly professional and obsessed with precision. He's already won Bathurst in a Phase II Falcon. Now with the Phase III, he sees the chance to make history. Ford's desire is clear. Build not just a winner, but a car so fast, so dominant, that nobody will ever doubt Ford again. Rivals, crashes, and the Supercar Scare. Bathurst 1971 becomes the perfect storm. In qualifying, Moffat shatters the lap record by 13 seconds. The front row is stacked with Falcons. The paddock can hardly believe it. Ford hasn't just brought a contender, they've brought a weapon of mass destruction. But the mountain is unforgiving. Driver Bill Brown in another Phase III suffers one of Bathurst's most infamous crashes. A tire blows at over 100 miles an hour. The Falcon launches, flips, and cartwheels along skyline. The wreckage is catastrophic. Brown somehow survives. The footage shocks the nation. These cars aren't just fast, they're deadly. Meanwhile, Holden and Chrysler are plotting their counterattacks. Holden is grooming a young driver named Peter Brock, who will one day be crowned King of the Mountain. Chrysler's Charger, lighter and nimble, threatens to embarrass Ford's big sedans. And then comes the media storm. Journalist Evan Green publishes a front-page expose, 160 miles per hour supercars soon. He warns that manufacturers are building racing specials for the road, cars ordinary Australians, and including teenagers, could buy. Politicians erupt. New South Wales Transport Minister Milton Morris threatens to ban them from registration, calling them bullets on wheels. The public is outraged. Parents fear their kids will get behind the wheel of 160-mile-per-hour monsters. What was meant to be Ford's crowning achievement is suddenly a national scandal. Innovation, dominance, and cancellation. Back at Bathurst, though, the Phase III shows no mercy. Race day, Allan Moffat starts from pole. He charges into the lead and never lets go. Lap after lap, the Phase III pounds around Mount Panorama with relentless precision. A freak moment nearly ends it all. A cardboard beer carton blows onto the track and lodges across Moffat's grill. The crowd panics. His pit crew signals furiously. If the engine overheats, his race is finished. But Moffat refuses to pit. He gambles. He keeps one eye glued to the temperature gauge, daring fate, and the Falcon never falters. By the checkered flag, Moffat has lapped the entire field. He's the first driver ever to complete Bathurst at an average speed above 130 kilometers per hour. Falcons sweep the podium. It is total domination. But success comes at a cost. Behind the scenes, Ford is already developing the Phase IV, even faster, even wilder. Just 4 prototypes exist. And then the Supercar Scare hits. Under government pressure, Ford kills the Phase IV overnight. Holden cancels its V8 Tirana. Chrysler scraps its hot Chargers. The entire Bathurst special era is over. The Phase III isn't just a champion, it's the last of its kind. The making of a legend. What happens when a car goes out on top? It becomes legend. The Falcon GT-HO Phase III never lost Bathurst. It never had a successor. It became frozen in time as the ultimate Australian muscle car. And with that came myths. That every Phase III secretly made 380 horsepower, not the official 300. That owners who disconnected the rev limiter saw 7,000 RPM in top gear. That there was a mythical automatic Phase III built at the factory. There wasn't. And the most famous, that it was the fastest 4-door sedan in the world. One photo captures it all. A Phase III speedometer reading 144 miles per hour on the Hume Highway. Proof that this family sedan could outrun Porsches and Ferraris of its day. Today, collectors call it the Holy Grail. With only 300 built, surviving cars sell for over $1 million. Cricket star Jeff Thompson's Phase III went for $1.03 million at auction. Another pristine example hit $1.15 million, setting a new record for an Australian production car. Experts predict the Phase III will one day crack the $2 million mark. But the money isn't the point. The Phase III's value is measured in something bigger: legacy. It represents the height of Australia's muscle car era, a time when our local manufacturers built cars so wild they scared politicians, conquered Bathurst, and captured the nation's imagination. The shocking truth is this: the Falcon GT-HO Phase III wasn't just a car. It was a statement, a rebellion, proof that Australia could build a world-beating machine, and that sometimes being too good is exactly what makes you legendary. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Falcon GT-HO Phase III, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next story. Because here on Revved Up Muscle, we uncover the untold truths behind the cars that defined an era.